Good morning, students. This is Professor Farhan Kazi from NK Orchid College of Engineering, Solapur. This is the second lecture of the first unit of Water Resource Engineering, that is the introduction lecture. Okay. So in this lecture, we'll see the scope of irrigation, and then we'll see the ill effects and advantages of irrigation. So now the irrigation engineering part, which comes under civil engineering, it has a very wide scope. It has mainly three aspects. Okay, so the three aspects of the engineering are engineering aspect, agricultural aspect, and management aspect. So first we'll see the engineering aspect. Okay, next is the agricultural, and third is the management aspect. So first engineering aspect, first aspect is storage, diversion or lifting of water. So the engineering part of irrigation deals with the storage of water. Maybe it is rainwater, maybe it is water flowing in a river. Then it deals with diversion of water or lifting of water which is underground. Then next part of engineering of irrigation is conveyance of water to the agricultural fields. How we will convey the water which has been stored or lifted to the agricultural fields. So we can convey that water with the help of canals or pipes. Okay, so that is the second part. Third part is the application of water to agricultural fields. Okay, now every crop requires different amount of water. Also every agricultural field will require different amount of irrigation water. So the application of water, that means how much water will give to which field and which crops, that also comes under engineering aspect. Then the next part of engineering is drainage and relieving waterlogging. Okay, so the water which has been applied to the field. Okay, so now the excess water which is in the field has to be drained off, and we have to relieve waterlogging. That means the water which remains stagnant in the field, we have to remove that comes under engineering aspect. Last is the development of water power. The water which we are going to store for irrigation purpose, that water can also be used to develop water power, that means hydroelectric power. Okay, so that comes under engineering aspect. Next is the agricultural aspect. Okay, so how much depth of water we have to provide to an agricultural field, how we will distribute that water to different agricultural fields, then the capacity of soil and the flow of water, and as well as reclamation of lands which are unusable for agriculture. Okay, these all come under the agricultural aspects. And last is the management aspect. It deals with successful implementation and efficient management of the irrigation water, then cultivation of crops in a scientific manner. Next important management aspect is training of farmer, okay, to grow suitable crops. Then next is sufficient and rational distribution of water to farmers. And last is the charging of water using suitable and scientific method. These all come under management aspect. So now, as a civil engineer, we have to deal with just the engineering aspect. Okay, we just have to deal with the engineering aspects, these 5 points that have been shown here. Okay, as a civil engineer you will have to deal with that is the storage or diversion or lifting of water. That means formation of a source, that is nothing but the first point. Then the next point is the to transport the water up to the agricultural fields. The third is the application of the transported water to the agricultural fields. The fourth point or the fourth engineering point is draining the excess water from the agricultural fields, and last is the development of water power from the stored water. Okay, as a civil engineer you will have to deal with these 5 points. Now in this subject we deal with only the engineering aspect. As I have told you, all the engineering aspect of irrigation can be divided into two different categories. Okay, first is the development of source of water, which is the first phase. Okay, now in the first phase we will develop a source of water. That means we'll either construct a dam to store the water from a river, okay, or will construct a weir or a barrage. Okay, now weir or a barrage is same as that of a dam, but in case of weir and barrage, what we do is we do not store water, we divert the water from a river to different canals. Okay, so if a river is flowing through a city, okay, now the irrigation needs of that city are fulfilled because the river is flowing through that city. But some 100 kilometers away there is another city where there is no source of water and there is no river flowing. So what we can do is we can construct a canal and we can divert water from this river to canals which reach the other city. Third is the groundwater sources. We can identify different groundwater sources, okay, and we can construct wells or tube wells to use that source of water. Now next, the second phase is the arrangement of conveyance or arrangement of transportation of that water. Okay, so for that we'll construct either canals, okay, or reservoirs, or if it is a groundwater source, we can use wells, we can use pipes to transport that water up to the agricultural fields. Okay, so the last point in this lecture is advantages or disadvantages of irrigation. Okay, first we'll see the advantages of irrigation. Due to irrigation we have got increase in groundwater storage. Okay, especially when we construct dams, we form a reservoir at the upstream of dam. In that reservoir water gets stored, and thus that stored water seeps into the soil, thereby increasing the groundwater storage. Okay, next advantage of irrigation is protection from famines, okay, or protection from droughts. As we store water in irrigation, for irrigation, we during the summer season, when there is scarcity of water, we can use that water to protect ourselves from drought or famines. Third point is the cultivation of superior crops. Okay, now many farmers, due to unavailability of rainwater, they have to produce substandard crops. Okay, now if we have irrigation available throughout the year, the farmers can cultivate superior crops. Okay, crops which can give them more amount of money. Okay, next is the elimination of mixed cropping. Okay, so now you have to understand this term mixed cropping. In mixed cropping, a farmer grows more than 2 or 3 crops. Okay, now this process, the farmer does this as an insurance against any one of the crop failing. Okay, that means if a farmer grows 2 or 3 crops, and even if one of the crop fails, then he can depend upon the other 2 crops. Okay, so if we have irrigation available, we can eliminate the mixed cropping and the farmer can grow just one crop in a scientific and well planned manner. Next is the increase in crop yield. Okay, he can increase the quantity of the yield he gets from the crops. Next is the prosperity to farmers and country. Next advantage of irrigation is hydroelectric power generation. Next is domestic and industrial water supply. Next, inland navigation, and the last advantage of irrigation is canal plantations. Okay, on the sides of a canal we can plant different types of crops. Okay, that is one advantage, and through these canals we can supply timber. Okay, the logs, wooden logs, which require much amount of capital to be transported through trucks or trains, they can be transported through a canal, through the water, because the woods, timber woods, are less in density than that of water, so they do not drown, they float on water and they can be transported easily. Okay, so these are the advantages. Next we'll go with the disadvantages of irrigation. Okay, now these are some basic disadvantages. I don't need to explain this in detail, these are self-explanatory. First is waterlogging. Okay, that means stagnation of excess water in the agricultural fields. Next is mosquito breeding. Due to the stagnant water, okay, the water which is not flowing, there is mosquito breeding. Next is the unhealthy climate due to the cold, due to the waterlogging and due to the mosquito breeding, there is a generally a very unhealthy climate. Next disadvantage is pollution of rivers and groundwater. That means the water which drains from the field, okay, again joins the rivers or groundwater, but as some waters contain more amount of fertilizers, artificial fertilizers, there is a reason for pollution of river or groundwater. And next is loss of valuable lands.